Hello and welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of the Week Weekly. We are so sorry we missed you. You know, things like schedules don't align every week for us, unfortunately. But hey, we're back. We're better than ever, and we filmed 2 episodes this weekend. We already got an episode out there on our Patreon. If you guys are interested, 7 people are already in there, which is very nice of you. Thank you to those who did that. So yes, guys, we had a episode that we recorded yesterday all about DC fandom, the future of comic books, the future of comic book movies with Zeffy from TikTok famedom. He was incredible. 1.4 million followers on TikTok. We hung out for a little over 2 hours. So if you guys are listening, well, looking to hear a little bit of our smooth voices, that's exactly where you can find it. But since you are here, welcome. We're happy to have you here. We're back. We're better than ever. Jose, tell the people what's going on.
Well, we have an amazing show for you today. As always, you can find us on TikTok, YouTube, Twitch, and Instagram. In my case, you can find me at I'm Tropical Joe on TikTok and Instagram. Make sure to keep your eyes out on that Instagram for the new Stack 'em Up, which will come in both once this episode comes out and once the official Patreon episode comes out on YouTube. So you can vote for 2 Stack 'em Ups within 1 week. So thank you very much for the people that have subscribed to our Patreon. We really appreciate it. And of course, if you want 2 hours of DC fandom content, you know exactly where to find us. Mizu, where can people find you?
You guys can find me on TikTok as Mizu Shogun, also Mizu Shogun on Instagram, Reddit, and YouTube.
Yep, and guys, you know me. I'm Nixie Comedy on TikTok, and Hammer23 on YouTube and Twitch. But since we are talking DC fandom, and since we are talking that beautiful little Patreon of ours, I just want to give you guys a quick synopsis, a quick rundown of what we talked about. A little teaser trailer, if I shall. We talked about every single trailer that was put out in DC fandom, that being Superman, Batman, Aquaman, Shazam, Black Adam. We talked about the video games that are coming out of DC, like Arkham Knights, Suicide Squad Kills the Justice League. We talked about the TV shows coming out of DC, like Peacemaker and the Aquaman show, and a lot of other little tidbits and fun things in there, guys. Like I said, if you guys want to help us, keep chasing our dreams, keep making more content for you. I mean, imagine we were full-time, how many podcast episodes we could do a week. Patreon is the way and the only way that we're going to get there, guys. So thank you once again to those who've already subscribed. That's very nice of you, guys. This week, we were supposed to talk about it last week, but like we said, we weren't around last week. We got a big Marvel event going on with the end of the What If finale. We saw something that is probably, it's important. And it's going to have a large reflection upon the MCU with the ending of Ultron and the creating of the interdimensional Avengers squad. What an episode! What a season! What a twist! I thought it was one of the better orchestrated twists just in Marvel history. How'd you guys feel about it?
I think we can finally confirm that evil Doctor Strange can solo pretty much everybody that we've seen so far. Yeah. We also got a huge confirmation. We did kind of get that with episode 8. We got it doubled down on episode 9 because Doctor Strange's time stone worked in order to take out Ultron. So officially. Yep. The MCU has Infinity Stones that work wherever the hell they decide to be. So that's pretty cool. I'm gonna be perfectly honest with you. I didn't like the finale that much. I feel like I feel like we went from a super huge high in episode 8 to like kind of like a okay. Because we essentially set up this Ultron Supreme, if you would say, to be the top dog in the entire MCU. He took Galactus's job. He was essentially a menace to society with Black Air Force One energy and no fucks given. And then in episode 9, he gets tossed around like a rag doll. They literally treat him like he's an NBA player in the G League. Captain Carter Captain Carter and Black Widow are literally bodying this man who went toe to toe with the Watcher. And I'm not saying that like that's wrong. I'm just saying that like if you set him up to be the best, then have them do it in a spectacular fashion and not just play around with his Infinity Stones like they're candy, because they're not. So I don't know.
Okay, so what you're saying is you didn't see enough power. It was like this man is running through everybody until he runs into people with plot armor, is essentially what you're saying.
I feel like the what's it called, Guardians of the Multiverse were a little bit too ex machina, if you ask me. Because I mean the Stone Crusher was a very particularly good concept that did not get explored enough. That was my biggest gripe. I think Gamora should have gotten her own episode 100,000%. I mean, she was working with Tony Stark.
Yeah,
she
what was
melted
going on there?
down. Bro, she melted the freaking Infinity Gauntlet to create the Stone Crusher. That's what she did. And they didn't even explain it. And I'm like, bro, this is like ridiculous. This is like a whole new level of awesomeness that you can explain.
And yeah, and Tony Stark is there in some weird, like
Gundam,
weird,
like
huge Iron Man suit. Yeah,
like
exactly.
Diva from Overwatch.
Exactly. So I was wondering, I was like, I saw Gamora and like I saw them grab her, and I was like, was there an episode about this? Because I didn't remember that. So there wasn't, right?
Nope.
So they were just like, this is the Gamora that's beaten Thanos, essentially.
Yep. Conqueror. She's Gamora the Conqueror, and she was just there. Which is annoying.
Interesting. Okay. That's not my favorite thing. I mean, I understand what you're talking about. I do. In terms of like, yes, like we saw this man eat an entire universe, and now, you know, Black Widow, who is a human, is giving him problems, which, you know, like we saw him essentially kill Captain Marvel, you know?
Oh yeah.
So like, yeah. So like what, how is this team the one giving him the fade? Like T'Challa being Star-Lord, cool, but he's still just like a human without vibranium. You know, he doesn't have the powers of the Black Panther or anything like that. So like it was definitely just a bunch of humans that gave the fade, but also like you said, dude, Sorcerer Supreme Strange was there.
Also, I agree, but I want to hear what Mizu has to say about this too. Who the hell told people to trust Killmonger, especially when he's the Black Panther?
Okay, first of all, I want to open up. Thank you for mentioning that. Screw Killmonger with this whole thing, because that to me alone was a red flag. Like I thought it was gonna be a redemption thing. Like, oh, maybe Killmonger is gonna see maybe the light side of, you know, of morality and come around. But no, this man was doing very Disney villainous things behind the corners. But yeah, I definitely agree with Jose a little bit with the fact of, yeah, it did feel weird that, yeah, you got this multiverse busting character, and all it took was to take one of his stones, which was the Soul Stone, I believe, to be just like him to be completely depowered and being taken down by, you know, the likes of characters who don't have powers. And one thing I will say that's funny, if you think about it, since you mentioned plot armor, you can technically say that Doctor Strange gave them plot armor because he gave them magical armor. So I don't know, you could make that a little connection there.
I mean, it is a very linear connection in terms of like Sorcerer Supreme Strange actually casting literal like armor that serves as them now being like interdimensional galactic threats to this one guy. So I mean, I guess I can understand where you're coming from, Jose, here, because it was a little, I guess. So what, you wanted him to win, or you wanted to just be like stronger people team up?
I was expecting them to beat Ultron, because I mean, why wouldn't they? If it's like the first contained season of What If they didn't beat Ultron, then they would have to set up like Kang the Conqueror. Like the only possible solution that I saw was like, okay, we're bringing in a variant of Kang to show a show of strength, basically, and be like, okay, I can clap this dude and just chill. But no, essentially it did what everybody was theorizing, which is set up the Watcher as the new big overseer in the MCU, the man with the plan, I guess, on the cosmic scale. I don't know. I felt like they tried really hard to make the Guardians of the Multiverse feel like a cohesive group, like of like misfits. They tried to do the whole Guardians of the Galaxy thing, but it doesn't really like work as well, because we saw the Guardians of the Galaxy struggle in the beginning, like to work together and whatever. This time they just have Doctor Strange carrying, like, I mean, and
for sure.
Gamora. Like, I mean, they have the brawn, they have the intelligence, they have the strength. Strength is brawn, but they also have the plot armor, right? Because the Watcher decided to literally hands off the wheel, look at me, mommy, no hands, and then come in at the end. It's like, gotcha, I knew this was gonna happen. And then Killmonger does exactly what everybody thinks he's gonna do. He just takes the suit with the Infinity Stones by himself. So I would give the episode a 7. I would give the episode a 7. But I would give the series as a whole a solid 8.9. Solid 8.9. Not every
until
episode.
the last episode.
Yeah. But I mean, there were
the
some
last
episodes. I think you cut off.
For a while.
Oh, you cut off. Well, Mizu, tell me, what do you think about Killmonger getting all the Infinity Stones?
So I'm not gonna lie, a part of me was not surprised, because I mean, the plane of it was showing that he was kind of doing some weird stuff on the side, like how he did in his specific episode. So when he did turn and got the Infinity Stones, I'm not gonna lie, part of me was hyped, because I'm just like, I wonder what happens if you give Killmonger the Infinity Stones. And I got scared for a moment too, like, good Lord, this man is insane. So I was hyped and scared at the same time. So yeah, I mean, I definitely agree with you on that. Like, the episode could have been a little bit better. And since you said it, I think it would have been a lot more interesting if Kang was involved, or at least part of him was involved in anything like that. So can you imagine if Kang, at least we got at least one episode or something involving Kang, or we got a teaser of specifically Kang the Conqueror, since the multiverse does now exist. It's surprising that we haven't heard of him yet through any of these episodes.
For sure.
But still, Ultron was still a good villain, and it was very OP villain. Really showed off what true like OP-ness can look like in the MCU. Granted, it is animation, but you never know what they can pull off in possibly live action. But I will also say, like, I give this episode, I'll say an 8 out of 10, and then overall a 9 out of 10.
What was your favorite 3 episodes?
So my top 3 favorite episodes, I'm not gonna lie, I still like the
zombies.
No, I'm trying the T'Challa Guardians of the Galaxy, the T'Challa one, only because I like how it was like the first to like go off the deep end, because you can say that the first one with Peggy Carter was good, but it was still grounded.
Yeah,
well, this one it went off like, I mean, already like Thanos becoming a good guy, crazy already in itself. So I thought that was pretty good. My second one will have to be the Killmonger episode.
Okay.
Killmonger, very MCU, very Game of Thrones, as we see how this man climbed the ladder and got what he wanted at the end. And last, I would say it's hard. It's a tie between Marvel Zombies because of the concept, but also the Doctor Strange episode, just the Doctor Strange alone episode. And here's the thing: one person made a good point that I think it would have been more tragic and more compelling if evil Doctor Strange didn't come back. If we got a different Doctor Strange that came in and helped out, but since he did come back, it's still good, and we saw what he's able to do and become like this eternal guardian for these two battling up for forever. But I think it would have been even more crazy if they just ended it off right there. Like, he's still eternity alone. He really like royally messed up. But still, I'm gonna go with the Doctor Strange episode for my third.
And honestly, that does bring up an interesting point now that you bring it up, because the Doctor Strange finale, like the Doctor Strange finale of that episode, sets it off as like, okay, you're getting punished for your ego, for your hubris, right? to be confined to this little universe, basically wallowing in your own self-pity, because of your actions. And then they sort of rectify that a little bit near the end, during the finale, because they tell him, look, I mean, you have a purpose now, which is to be the Watcher for these two menaces to society. I mean, because he's going to be taking care of Ultron as well as Killmonger, and both of them are locked essentially in an eternal mirror dimension, set forth by the Watcher. So I honestly don't know which one I would. I feel like I would be how would I say this? I would be a little bit more hesitant to give Doctor Strange this new purpose, because at least if he's constrained to a universe, he can still be contained in terms of like the damage he can do. In this case, who is to say that he won't still be evil and just swallow up Ultron and the Killmonger with the Infinity Stones? So I think that would be an interesting scenario. What do you think?
I think so. Yeah, I definitely agree with that. I think that would be interesting. Especially, who else was in it? Because it wasn't just Ultron and Killmonger. It was also, what's his name? The doctor, the scientist.
Oh, Zola.
Zola. Yep. Zola was also in there too.
That's true.
And I love the little Easter egg that they did with showing Vision or Ultron's broken up body, and we saw Zola's face through his chest. It's a great nod to the comics, because Zola has a robotic body that his face is shown through the chest and has like a little camera at the top for the head. So I thought that was a kind of little cool nod to the comic for Zola.
Yeah, that's definitely something that struck me as well, visually wise. I think they were pretty good at the visual analogies, both in the Easter eggs as well as setting up the whole premise of that finale. I guess if I had to pick on my end, which are my favorite 3 episodes? My favorite. Okay, I'll go with my gut on this one. I won't overthink it that much. Number 3. T'Challa, Star-Lord. I feel like this was and that's another thing that I wanted to discuss with you. Hopefully Nick will be able to join us at some point soon. But the T'Challa as Star-Lord episode, I think, was the perfect curtain call. I would say the perfect curtain call to T'Challa. They reference his intelligence, his impact, Chadwick Boseman's legacy. It was absolutely beautiful how much they could do in one episode. I shed a tear at the end when he said the fact that he's I mean, it's death is not the end. Like that, it's just it was tough. It was tough for me. I don't know how. Yeah,
it's kind of scary. I'm not gonna lie, because this is around the time where like everybody didn't know what was going on with Chadwick. I mean, of course, he knew his situation, but even then, he thought that he was able to, bounce back. So it's kind of, I don't know, eerie that he was saying all this stuff that was related to death. It was like, I don't know, it was like a weird foreshadowing. I don't know, it felt so weird every time we talked about it in an open-ended way. Like, oh, you guys got to remember, death is never the end. You guys got to remember, like, we know I don't know what he said, but it's something like we all connect through each other and stuff like that. I'm like, he's saying all this kind of stuff like he knew that he was already passed away. It was just very eerie to me.
Yeah, I feel like he held that one in, and it was honestly uncanny, because you had so many polarizing takes at the time. I don't know if people remember, but I mean, people, like, for lack of a better term, they were calling him a crackhead. Like
yes.
Like I saw tech tweets like that, and I was like, bro, that's like intense. And like he it felt like something was off, but it definitely how do I say this? I want to be politically correct, but at the same time, fuck that. I feel like people were giving him a bad rap. Like, I mean, we've seen other. I'm
back.
Hello, good sir.
Hello. no.
So
sorry, Wi-Fi went down.
To give you a little bit of a recap, we were just giving our top 3 episodes to wrap up the what if segment.
Okay.
And what we were talking about right now is the curtain call that they gave T'Challa. While the finale was not like the best, he did show up in 4 or 5 episodes. So he showed up in more than half of the episodes for What If, right? So they had enough content to give him the thing he deserved. But the biggest thing is, they were treating Chadwick Boseman during the time that he was like facing through his illness. They were calling him a crackhead, saying that he like why is he treating like the opportunity that he's given to be like a leading man in the MCU,
the
throwing it
proverbial
away.
they being the internet, not Disney, right?
No, like the internet, the internet. And the fact that he went through that silently, bro. He said he didn't say nobody knew. Nobody. He was, and he did. The jazz movie Melrose Bottom, I think.
Black Rainey's Black Rainey smell something. Yeah.
I know you're talking about.
Ma Rainey. Ma Rainey's Black Bottom.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I saw the movie, but I forget the name all the time. He did a Black Panther movie. He did Avengers Endgame. He did so much. Literally battling stage 4, like terminal cancer, and I'm like, what? Like, how do people have no heart? And they were treating him like he had been squandering his opportunity away. So I feel like this what if episode 2, which is my 3rd favorite episode, gave him the perfect curtain call to redeem all of that and be like, this is how impactful T'Challa is, that even if he was another character altogether in the MCU, the entire multiverse would bow at his fingertips. I feel like that's kind of what they did, and it was a great way to say goodbye.
No, I definitely feel you on that. I mean, like, people just didn't know, I mean, he was like, people were like, holy shit, because he's ripped for Black Panther. He's huge. And losing that much weight without like someone being like, oh, he's losing weight for a role is obviously going to lead people to questions, but going so far as to be like, oh, he's a crackhead, things like that. I mean, regardless of the situation, that's unacceptable. It's terribly mean, because you don't know what he's going through. And to make an assumption, to be like, oh wow, like he must be like losing weight for like something or another, to like speculate, like that's totally fine. But to be like, oh, he's like smoking crack or something, like that's absolutely ridiculous. And you're right, he suffered in silence. And he died the way that he lived, just powerful and inspiring. It was the way that the brightness that he showed all throughout his life. And it shines through very clearly in What If. And I think if there's one thing that we could take away from the show as a whole, it would be the farewell to Chadwick, because, at the end of the day, it's Black Panther isn't really, it's very open-ended. We thought we were gonna get Black Panther 2 with him. And this really allowed us to be like, okay, it's like Mac Miller's post-mortem albums. You're like, okay, cool. Like, this allows me to because I never knew when I was listening to like the last album he put, when I was listening to like what was it? Slides? No, something like that. That it was gonna be the last one. So it's like that. It's a good way for fans to say goodbye, and I think What If did a really good job of that. So you're absolutely right. I'd have to say my favorite episodes were probably oh God, dude. I would say probably episode 8 was probably top 3. T'Challa Star-Lord is probably number 1 for me, though. And then number 2 would not Party Thor by any means, that's for sure. Wait, wasn't Party Thor? Party Thor was number 8. No, Party Thor was 7. Let's say, and then
I had Star-Lord at number 3, Doctor Strange at number 2, and Black Air Force Ultron at number 1.
Yeah, I'm like, I would say I'm probably like that, but in a different order. I would say T'Challa 1, like Black Air Force, like Ultron 2, and then Tony Stark and Killmonger number 3. That would be number 3 for me.
Okay, good take.
That was a fun episode, dude, because it was a cool what if that like kind of like it was like in terms of like circumventing the plot and making it like entirely different. I think it accomplished that really well. And we didn't really see it really come to fruition until episode 9, when we see what was it, Yuri? Yeah, Yuri and T'Challa's mother, like essentially like about to like charge into the throne room. Wakanda's on fire. You know, he's about to get caught, and then he gets his Shuri. Shuri. And then he gets like a kind of a get out of jail free card from the Watcher. I thought that was a cool bit right there.
I like that. Yeah, I think it was a solid way to keep the audience hooked all the way through. And yeah, I think the next season of What If, which has already been confirmed,
of course,
will be we'll be taking things to the next level. Hopefully Kang or Galactus will show up. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah,
I'm wondering if they do a Shang-Chi one. If this next season, I want to see a Shang-Chi one.
What if? Yeah, I mean, we talked about it. Like, what if his father was like successful and taking over that area? What if, you know, a lot of things? What if his mother killed his father? Like in their fight, like that. We talked a lot of hypotheticals that they could absolutely run with, and that's the beauty of What If. Every single movie introduced them like 7 new What If episodes they could make. You know, so that's, I mean, the content for the show is limitless. So I guess that's wraps on What If. Which is totally fine because there's a lot of other things Marvel we need to talk about, and they're all in the little pretty package of called delays. We got a big bomb of news recently that basically anything Marvel outside of the Eternals and Spider-Man Far From Home has been delayed. And Jose, you seem to have the forefront of knowledge in terms of the trio of us here, so you wanna let us know what's going on here, bud?
Yes, sir. So all the big projects that you've been thinking about, except for the Eternals and the No Way Home Spider-Man movie, have been delayed. I sent you guys the dates so you can keep track. But essentially, the big ones, Multiverse of Madness, officially delayed from March of 2022 to May. We have Thor: Love and Thunder taking the July 8th spot, so the post July 4th spot on 2022, delayed from May to July. We have Black Panther 2 delayed from the July 8th spot into November, so that's a huge jump. We also have the Marvels movie also taking a huge jump, going from 2022 November 11th, which they gave that spot to Black Panther 2, into February. So essentially it's a 3 to 4 month jump for everything leading up until Quantumania, which had a 5-month jump from February 2023 to July 2023. And then they had 3 untitled Marvel movies, right? So we had 2 projects that were completely removed from the schedule, which is kind crazy, of a bit alarming. And then the one final untitled Marvel project that is going to be moved from November 2023 to I forgot the other one. It's from November to the next year. I think there's a typo in that one, but
because that one, because they're saying it got pushed up a week.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It got pushed up a week. That's the thing. So yeah, it got pushed up, but it's an untitled Marvel project. We do not know what it is. This is a bit of a huge shock in my case, at least. I don't know what you guys think, because I mean they had Shang-Chi perform super well at the box office. They had Black Widow do well, and they also. Well, yeah, true. It did well, like Disney Plus wise, number wise. That's what they said.
Yeah.
But, so the Shang-Chi movie was there, and then obviously we had like the Sony side of it. We had Venom do super well at the box office. So
did Venom? We haven't actually really talked about the box office numbers coming out of Venom. Did it do well?
Yes. Let me just do the Venom box office numbers.
Because here's the thing, Venom was okay, so I wouldn't be surprised if it didn't do incredible at the box office.
Yeah, so so it did. Wow, it did pretty well. So apparently it did over 100 million already.
Oh wow!
So it's done over 100 million. So
that's pretty good.
Oh, we have the gross. We have the gross for the first Venom movie. But it's going, it's up there. It's over 4,000 locations, over $90 to $100 something million roughly in what's been so far, and it was released 2 weeks ago. So I think it's doing pretty well. So
okay, so I mean, so do you think that these releases, these delays are monetary, or do you think they have to do with the lawsuits?
I think it's strategic. I think it's
strategic.
Move.
How so?
Yeah. Well, you deal with the lawsuits first, obviously.
Yeah.
You settle what you need to settle, and this is just playing devil's advocate. I'm not saying Disney should do this because obviously, like, corporations are gonna corporate. The lawsuits are what they are. They have to deal with that. But also they have 2 big projects coming up that they need to land, right? They have the Eternals coming up in a week, or in some change. Well, no, two
early
weeks.
November.
The
so
premiere,
like 2 weeks,
the premiere is happening in the next couple of days, and then the movie itself coming out in November, and then you have December, which is No Way Home, No Way Home, Bring It Home. So I think they have to definitely focus on the ending of this year, and hopefully by the time that the new movies are able to come out, we'll have less restrictions, less COVID protocol issues, and obviously they hopefully will have figured out their streaming situation. What do you think, Mizu? Do you think it was strategic, or do you think it's monetary?
A part of me, I want to say both, but one, I would say strategically a little bit more, only because I heard this argument that some people made on YouTube talking about how we're getting into that part where the MCU, especially superhero films, especially through the MCU, is like, I guess, being oversaturated in a way. Because think about it, back then we got like 2-3 films tops out of the year for MCU film. But now, looking at how the previous schedule was, we were getting like almost like
4,
5, 6 in like a whole year.
And that's just from one universe. That's not even like that's not even including DC and Marvel.
Exactly. So I think it's strategic only because of one, that, and then 2, like, you want that money to accumulate, because you don't want to put out, like, for example, Shang-Chi, then the next month, Eternals, then the following 2 months is this
Hawkeye.
movie, like Hawkeye and all that kind of stuff. Especially I'm talking about, especially cinema wise, you want that movie, you want the buzz to keep going. You want the at least sit in there before we move it on to exactly. Because I mean, think about it right now. It was still a good movie, but are we talking about Shang-Chi right now? No. It's only been like what was like a month or so, but still, like,
more or less,
we're already cut from talking about that to the What If, to now Eternals, to Spider-Man No Way Far From Home, etc. So I don't know. I think I would definitely say it is mostly strategic, but then again, you have the whole monetization, possible lawsuits and all that. So
one other thing that came to mind, I think it's like another thing where Disney just has so much on their plate, not in terms of like complications, and just in terms of just like things that they're releasing at the same time. Not really, bro. Star Wars. We have the Book of Boba Fett coming in like what, a month and a half. Like, so
December, like 2 months exactly.
So in the span of 2 months, which is from now until the release of Far From Home, of No Way Home, we have Eternals, we have Hawkeye, we have
when is Hawkeye? Is it a TV show?
November 24th. So it's or November 22nd. So like we have Hawkeye, which is the finale for Hawkeye is happening the same day as the premiere for Boba Fett, bro. They're literally stacking things on top of each other, and it's like the bus is there because it's gonna continue. There's always Disney stuff happening, but at the same time, eventually you're gonna run out of stuff. Like, I mean, you're in terms of stuff that's ready to go, stuff that's ready to go.
Keep buying other IP.
True. But I mean, like, if they wanted to keep the content machine going, and making it the smart way, it would be spacing it out just a little bit, so you can like squeeze the juice from it. Because like, as a matter of fact, think about it, bro. We literally just had one of the biggest releases, which was Star Wars Visions, did so well that they released the confirmation. They have 4 anime shows Disney has 4 anime shows just based off one success. So it's just like they're just going like throwing balls to the wall, ready to like expand everything, make as much money as possible on Disney Plus and movies, which is a good strategy. But at the same time, the buzz will be what's it called, diluted across multiple different IPs. So that's all I'm saying.
So, I mean, yeah, I definitely understand what you're saying. Hey, it's fantastic if you happen to run a podcast about talking about popular culture. So here's the hoping that they're not trying to space things out, so we don't have weeks where we're all like, oh, you guys remember when we had things to talk about? But I think it has a lot to do with the lawsuits, because you got to delay the movies, because shit, what if you can't use those characters? You know, like if in 3 months, like the Black Panther character is now off limits, like, yeah, good thing we delayed it, because otherwise we would have been liable for a massive lawsuit. And so, yes, we could be caught in the endless content circle. And actually, you brought up a very good point that I think we should absolutely talk about, because it's a melding of a lot of things that this show is about, anime and Disney. And we did get the release of what is going to be a lot of more Disney anime IP. And I would love for you guys to talk about it with me, because it looks crazy. Most specifically, Disney's Twisted Wonderland, which isn't actually an anime. It's going to be a mobile game. But wait, no, it's a mobile game being adapted into an anime. And oh my goodness, is this anime horny as hell?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. Have you guys seen it yet? Have you seen like what they're looking to do?
I've heard. No. I heard about it, but I didn't get to actually see what they were. I've been hearing everybody say that they're working on some more anime, but I haven't seen what they were yet.
Buddy, oh pal. Okay, all right. I just need you to look up Twisted Wonderland, and essentially what they're doing is there's an anime series coming to Disney Plus where every single anime or every single Disney bad guy of all time has been turned into a hunky anime boy. And when I say hunky anime boy, I mean like hunky, like hot, like they're hot. Like the Cheshire Cat is hot. Like that's the craziest bit. They made the Cheshire Cat look like Toga gender bent. Like they made like anime, like dog boys, cat boys, wolf boys, like as like a wide palette of all these. And it is going. When I shit you not, it's gonna make $1 billion. It's gonna make $1 billion. It's gonna be more successful than Squid Game. I swear to God. Because when you combine
that's a bold claim right there.
When you combine the power of horny, Disney, and anime, like we already got Disney, anime, and Star Wars, and that did very well. Now add to the fact that everyone's gonna be hot. It's over. It's over, bro. And it's gonna be the next MHA.
I don't know if it's going to be the next MHA. I just know Disney is doubling down, because apparently there's 27 new shows up the slate from the Asia Pacific presentation, and 4 of those are the animes, right? So we have Black Rock Shooter Downfall, which is a spin-off from Black Rock Shooter. We have Summertime Rendering, which is based on a manga series. Tatami Time Machine Blues, which is a sequel to the Tatami Galaxy. And then we have Twisted Wonderland, which is the Disney Japan is going off. I'm just gonna say
it's in here's the thing. Twisted Wonderland isn't going to be in combination with Aniplex, who are massive distributors of all things anime. They're the Aniplex people.
I was just about to do that.
Yeah, exactly. It's ingrained in every weeb's mind. So I think it's gonna be very Black Butler-esque. It's gonna be like it's gonna be yaoi, but not actually. It's gonna be Victorian set. Yeah, and it is gonna be a lot of fun, and you better believe I am watching it, but respectfully, okay? I am watching it for the content's sake. I'll keep an eye on it for the podcast. All right, gentlemen.
I can only imagine the TikToks that'll come out once that thing comes out.
No, the fan art that's going to come out of it, good
the
sir.
fan fiction.
Smut.
Yup. Hey, it's not smut, it's art, sir. It's art. Don't you dare throw smut. Okay. But yes, now that we're talking about our anime, we also had a lot in terms of anime news this week that isn't about sexy anime boys. It is about, well, I mean, I guess it depends on your definition of what a sexy anime boy is, because like Inosuke is there. But
Also,
we're talking
there, but
also Rengoku's there. We're talking a Demon Slayer. Ladies and gentlemen, we got our first episode of season 2, sort of season 2 abridged. We got a cool little look at Rengoku before he got on the Mugen train. He had to kill a speedster. It was fun. It was stylized. And it's been like 3 or 4 years since Demon Slayer season 1, I think. It's been years, and it feels good to have it back. This show has heat. This show has people behind it. It's great to have another like titan of industry back in it. What do you guys think of the episode?
Has it been that long since Demon Slayer dropped season 1?
I think it was 2017, 2018. Let's see.
Yeah.
It feels like it was much shorter than that. I was like, damn. Maybe time is just flying way. I mean, we just basically did a time skip from 2020 to 2021, so I mean that makes sense. But
first episode date was April 6th, 2019. So it's been like 2.5 years.
Yeah, that makes sense. But we also had Mugen Train in the middle, so I think that there was some continuity there. And speaking of the Mugen Train, I absolutely love this episode. I didn't think that I was gonna click with Rengoku as much as I did after watching Mugen Train, and now that they gave me a little bit more backstory to chew on, even though I know his inevitable end, it was beautiful. It was beautiful to see that he's such a selfless person, and he's able to risk it all just to save like a little lady and her granddaughter, making bento boxes. Like It just speaks to volumes about Rengoku as a character. And the biggest thing for me, and I want to see what Mizu has to say about this, is that highlight reel at the end where we got exactly what we wanted out of Mugen Train, where every single Hashira was like, oh, this is what I think of Rengoku. And I'm like,
that was cute. It was really cute. And it was, I mean, it plays off the, because we know he dies. So it's a pull at the heartstrings, and that's exactly what they were trying to be. Mizu, what do you think about it?
At first, I was skeptical because I already made a TikTok and even talked about it on Instagram about how I was just like, I don't really kind of see the point of making this a season, knowing that we got the movie, just make the movie more accessible to others. Yeah. But this first episode was fantastic. It was a great little prequel to Mugen Train. And how you said, like, I like how we see where he got the bento boxes from. I like how he, you say that old lady and her granddaughter. I like how we got a little background on Rengoku's father, because she's just like, oh, you're the same person. You haven't aged a bit. He's like, oh, you're talking about my father. My father did that. It's glad that I live up to his standard. And I thought that was pretty cool. And of course, like you said at the end, where everybody was talking about him, all the Hashira, I was just like, dang, even though with the strong silent types are just like, he's pretty cool. I was like, dang,
good guy.
That's what you have to say.
He's that
now,
guy.
now I messed up. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Yeah. You're like there goes the waterworks. No, it was awesome. I'm right there with you. I don't see the necessity of the entirety of this season. We'll cutting up Mugen Train and putting it into a bunch of tiny episodes. I guess for continuity's sake, for people watching through the anime like later on, it kind of makes sense. But for the current time, it's not my favorite move ever. But no, this episode was awesome. That boy was fast as hell. That boy was he was nuking.
Yo, that demon was moving. That demon was wow.
Zoomies, baby. Zoomies.
And he didn't even stand a chance against Rengoku.
I'm not gonna lie, even with the spider demon in the anime, he was pretty scary. But I'm not gonna lie, I got scared shitless when I saw. As soon as he like zoomed off the screen, I was like, "Yo, there's no way! Like, there's no way they're gonna beat this guy."
Well, and it's kind of crazy to think that Rengoku was that fast all this time, and you're like, well, where was that against the Upper Moon guy? Huh? Where was the speed, homie?
Well, I mean, you can't blame him for going against Demon Rock Lee over there. So like,
fair, very fair. Yeah, that man was throwing hands if we're being honest. But it was fun. I mean, I'm probably not gonna watch the rest of the episodes. I've seen Mugen Train. If I wanted to see Like the rest of the episodes, I'll just go rewatch Mugen Train. How about you guys? Are you gonna watch episodes like 2 through 9?
Unless there's something new that they add to Mugen Train.
Background music.
Yes, but at the
Intro,
same time,
anime
and the
intro.
Yep, OST baby.
Outro.
True, but
Yep.
I feel like unless they add something worthwhile, I mean, I'd rather just watch the whole thing and cry again. So
Yeah, exactly. Like I like December like 9th, like right before they start the entertainment arc, I'll rewatch Mugen Train. I'll just like pop it on in my Discord and me and everyone can watch it. But like until then, like I'm okay. I've seen it, I've done it. It's probably one of the best anime movies ever made. I'm not gonna sit here and act like I wouldn't watch it again, but I don't need to see it episodically for the next 8 weeks. So we'll check back in with Demon Slayer in 8 weeks. But that being said, there's also bigger news coming out of the Demon Slayer world. We got the Hinokami Chronicles. The Hinokami Chronicles, the video game. We got Naruto Shippuden Ultimate Storm 5, ladies and gentlemen. And it is a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. And I'm kind of being paid to say this, but it is a lot of fun, and the game is absolutely gorgeous. There's a 11-hour or so storyline. The fight mechanics are super smooth and so much fun it's all about combos, and there's only one way to get out of combos, and that's using a sub. And it's a lot of fun. And if you guys like fighting games, if you liked any of the Naruto Shippuden Ultimate Storm games, Jump Force, and I wouldn't say Xenoverse, like Z Fighters, those kinds of games, you are going to like this game a lot. Highly recommend it. Jose, have you had a chance yet?
I played 2 hours on stream. Nice. It was solid. I still can't get a hold of the blocking. I get clapped every single time, but hey, I'm
getting grabbed? Are you getting grabbed mid-block?
So I'm playing through the story, so it's not that hard to beat it, but like I still can't time regular blocks versus aura blocks or whatever. It's like when you press the block directionally at the same time, it gives you like
it's a parry.
Yeah, so that's supposed to give you more of the action bar to get the the boosts and the ults. I haven't released a single ult, which is annoying because like my bar always ends up getting depleted way too quickly. But I like the mechanics. I played I have played Shinobi Strikers. I haven't played Ultimate Ninja Storm. Yeah, I haven't played Ultimate Ninja Storm, so this is my first experience at this level. But I love Demon Slayer. I love everything Demon Slayer, and I'm glad that I get the chance to play with them, play with the characters. The only thing is that it has that what's it called? It has that unfortunate thing where like not all the characters have dialogue, and it's just like ooh, and like there's a full text, and they're like, I'm trying to like keep the story going, and they're like, you're talking with somebody that's gonna give you information, but they're like, oh hey, and it's like, hey, you need to go get my grandmother's being chased by a demon, you should definitely check this out. And I'm like, oh my god, this is so annoying.
Yeah, but, well, they get paid for the voice lines for at least the cutscenes. The cutscenes have like entire episodes of Demon Slayer in it.
And I like the memories. The memories is good because you can tap into memories that show you actual pieces of the anime, both in
canon
stills,
backstory.
Yeah, both in the stills and like little clips of the anime. So it's like amazing.
Mizu, you haven't had a chance to get on it yet, have you?
No, I have yet to play the game, but I've seen gameplay because I've been watching two individuals named Nick Comedy and Tropical Joe. So I've seen y'all both play it, and it seems interesting. I also seen some gameplay from other people on YouTube and on TikTok as well. I think one of the cool things that I definitely want to get involved in is where I guess they're doing the whole school theme thing where like
the academy skins.
Yeah, the academy. Yeah, I thought those parts, especially with the finishers, are hilarious.
They're really funny.
Cool.
Zenitsu's is awesome. Inosuke's is great. So is Giyu's. They're all the game is a lot of fun. I highly recommend it if you guys like fighting games. If you want to get really mad at your friends or random people online, it's also great for that. I have been sweating my ass off in it and enjoying every minute of it. Outside of that, in terms of other anime news, we also got the first episode and the subsequent second episode, of which only I've seen, of Platinum End, the newest manga, well, I guess the newest anime now, coming out of the mangaka of Death Note. And it is Mirai Nikki. It's Mirai Nikki. It's Mirai Nikki. And you know what? That's my second favorite anime of all time. I have a Yuno Gasai tattoo. I actually really enjoy it. It's cool. It's well animated. The concept is great. We love like people who have given up on life fighting to be God. And the angel design is really, really good. I can see the Death Note. I can see his art style in it. It looks just like a Death Note. And it's about people who can only interact with things that fly behind them. So Death Note once again. But what do you guys think of episode 1? Are you buying to channel our Patreon episode? Are you buying or selling Platinum End?
Mizu, I'll let you go first on this one.
So right now, I'll say for now, I am buying. I like how it's kind of the opposite, but not really opposite of Death Note. Only the thing I'll say is opposite instead of, Shinigami, death gods, it's angels. And I'm not gonna lie, these angels are pretty sketchy. That angel in the first episode really threw me off for a second. I'm like,
Nase?
Yeah, I was like, what kind of angel are you? Like, what the hell? But I like the concept of they have the power of flight, the love arrow, and then the death arrow kind of power system that they're doing. And of course, they're fighting for the top to be the next god. So I like how it's an actual deity thing that they're doing right here in Platinum End compared to in Death Note, where Light Yagami was trying to be a god, like as in like medically, both literally and metaphorically, a god. While we're actually trying to ascend to godhood
to goddom. Yes.
I don't know, man. I feel like Mirai was a little bit over the top, I think. I feel okay. The concept is cool, but when I saw the Nasi give him like so many different ways to like just be a complete and utter like menace, like I felt like Yagami like vibes just from the fact that like
but Mirai says no. He says no.
I know.
For now,
like, for now, that's what I'm saying, bro. Like as soon as you get that first thing, bro. As soon as you get that first thing, where like you can shoot a fictitious or like an arrow that only you can see, and people fall in love with you to the point that they'll do anything for you.
Yep.
That is literally a recipe for disaster. So I can see where I can see where the appeal is. I just don't. I feel like I'm at a midway point. I'm like, oh, this is crazy as hell, but like I need to see a little bit more on the story side in order to like fully buy.
So actually, that is what the entirety of episode 2 is about.
Okay.
The entirety of episode 2 is about the use and the abuse of red arrows, and then the introduction of the other god candidates, and it's better than episode 1. It's very, very good. I am buying. I'm love it. Like I said, Mirai Nikki is about 13 candidates. It might be 12 who get the diaries that tell them the future. And the last one standing becomes a new god of the realm because the god of the earth is dying. It is point blank period. It's Mirai Nikki. It's reskinned. And I love it. I love it though. So far, I love Shien's, big fan of them. It's a nice step up above shonen in terms of like adult nature and what we're achieving. It's like now, like it's not for 14-year-olds, it's for 24-year-olds. And that's my demographic currently. So I like it. I like it a lot. And if you guys liked Death Note, if you liked Mirai Nikki, if you like a bit darker shows, it's definitely going to be right up your alley because I have a feeling I've read the manga, but I have a feeling the show is going to get real dark, just darker than Death Note probably. So are you guys going to be watching episode 2?
I am.
Oh yeah, I'm definitely watching it.
Hell yeah, we are. Okay. And then we had a little bit more news coming out of the anime world. This is a Nick specific experience. 86 came out with the second season, and it is incredible. It's very good. Essentially, we are now dealing with other countries in the 86 world outside of the country that we were in. We are seeing how the world is dealing with the Legion problem. It's very, very good, guys. If you liked Code Geass, if you liked any mech anime kind of that's like also a political thriller, that's very good. Iron-Blooded Orphans is another really good, a really good connection there. 86 is awesome. I highly recommend it. Get into season 2, please, and thank you. What else do we have?
On what end? Any
In
end?
every end. Yeah, in all the ends.
I think we are good. We think we covered pretty much all the big
Did we have a stack 'em up question this week?
No, we don't have a stack 'em up question this week.
Holy shit, we don't. Wow, I think we were overly prepared for the Patreon and underly prepared for this episode. Okay,
We
shit,
could
hey,
we could just like let it fly and be like, what was the best what if episode?
You know what? Fuck it. Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it. Yes, let's let it fly on what if. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, that was Live Thinking with Nick, Mizu, and Jose. Welcome to professional podcasting, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you to all our Patreon subscribers. That episode has its shit together, unlike this one. So we last week, or I guess 2 weeks ago, posed the question of the best anti-hero of all time. And Jose, just for our non-Patreon listeners, do you want to tell them who won?
Nick won with an astonishing 89%. 89%.
Is that our highest ratio of all time? I believe it is.
No, I think the Joker winning was was it Joker winning?
Oh, was it the Joker winning?
Yeah, probably.
I wonder who chose Joker.
You chose the Joker. Yes,
wow. It feels, ladies and gentlemen, I just want you guys to know out there, it feels so good to be king. I think I understand what Scar was doing in the Lion King. You know, he wanted to be king. He wanted this feeling. Woo, baby. So that brings our official score, ladies and gentlemen, to 5-4-4 or 5-5-4.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, 5-5-4.
5-5-4. So king for a day, but won the battle, not the war by any means. I am still in last place, but ladies and gentlemen, that does mean I get to go first.
Mm-hmm.
And that means as honorary first goer here, I get to choose what is the best what if episode. And here's the thing. There was one consistency amongst all of our choices today. T'Challa, great episode. Party Thor, okay episode. Killmonger, great episode. But I don't think anyone.
You got off again. You see, the universe doesn't.
Getting to see Ultron eat entire universes.
Okay.
What?
You got cut off. You got cut up a little.
What you got?
Huh?
You got cut off a lot.
Where did I get cut off?
You were about to choose the episode, but I think you said Ultron, so I know exactly what you're gonna say.
Yep, I already knew you were going to say too.
So, ladies and gentlemen, they wanted dramatic pause. The internet wanted some dramatic pause before we get my choice across the table, which is episode 8. Watching Ultron eat entire universes like Galactus, just chomping down on a universe like an appetizer. Ooh, that was a great episode. The fear in people's eyes, watching him kill Captain Marvel, one of the strongest people in the Marvel universe. I mean, this woman soloed Thanos. Speaking of Thanos pulled up on him, and what happened? Oh, he cut him in half. And this was before he had his suit. So just one soul stone lasered down the middle, and guess how many stones Thanos had? 5 of them. So yeah.
Which is eerily convenient he didn't use them at the time, but that's just me. But
before he got turned into like actual deli meat. So, ladies and gentlemen, you know what they say: the rich get richer. And I think I'm going to take this one because I think it's a well-known fact that twist of Ultron pulling up and taking over universes and causing the events of the Watcher, even seeing the Watcher at the end of the episode. Oh, wow. Great stuff. How about you, Jose, since you came in second with your choice?
Which was the Punisher.
The Punisher.
I think there's two potential choices to combat the Black Air Force Ultron scenario. And the one I'll go with the one that has the highest possible impact on the multiverse. And speaking of the multiverse, it is a multiverse of madness. And who is leading that multiverse of madness? It is none other than Doctor Strange. The Doctor Strange episode was absolutely crazy. Not only because we saw a man's descent into madness because of losing his loved one, we have the introduction of the absolute point, which I am very, very sure that we will be seeing moving forward. It is a very important plot line for the MCU. Because it is a point of no return. You cannot reverse it, or the entire fabric of reality will be broken. Another big thing with that episode is that was the first ever episode where we saw the Watcher actually intervene, not doing it with actions, but doing it with words. He actually found the very first person who was even able to recognize him and identify that he was actually a sentient being looking over them. So that episode was intense. It was heartbreaking to see a man with absolutely no escape need to endure the death of his loved one, not once but twice. And also he decided to absolutely destroy his entire universe with the hope of bringing her back to life, and he was successful. So we saw a successful break of a
for like 30 or so seconds.
I know, but he was successful, so he proved that absolute points could be breaking. So I'm curious to see what Kang will have to say about that. And then we also had a foreshadowing for the future of the Watcher intervening. So in terms of the plot line of the entire show, it was impactful. In terms of the entire multiverse, it's also impactful because it allowed us to confirm that that absolute points could be broken, as well as Infinity Stones working outside of their universe, even though that was confirmed in the final episode and the Black Air Force One Ultron episode. So I will pick Supreme Strange.
So I guess, and before we to me those pick, which I'm very, very curious about. So you think that absolute point? I agree that absolute points are probably going to become a point. Like, hey, listen, in the multiverse of madness, like while there is things that are going to split dimensions and like into multiple directions, there are things that absolutely have to happen. Do you think after the events of what we saw with Sorcerer Supreme Strange that we're ever going to get an absolute point reverse? Like, you think that's actually something that might happen?
I don't think the absolute point reversal might be touched upon unless it's like a random universe that they're just going to like murk off, because we know that like, if you do it, you will literally break your reality. I think the biggest thing, which I didn't mention, thank you for bringing it up again, because another point to my glorious win in this week is the fact that we can have two variants converging under one timeline. If you have somebody powerful enough, put them there, which is exactly what the what's it called? What's her face? The bald woman. The bald woman.
You're talking about the ancient one.
The ancient
There's the one.
The ancient one went with one beam into the time stone, split off a singular timeline, and made two Doctor Stranges converge within the same universe. We had never seen that. So that is another thing that I think would be more present, considering that we already saw a variant of this with Gamora. So they brought a Gamora from a different universe to the 616 universe that we're in right now. So I'm curious to see how they'll deal with that. I'll just say that.
Actually, and actually now that we're talking about What If again, I just remember something. So essentially what they did at the end of What If is they brought the Black Widow to a universe where they had lost their widow, right? Because her universe was gone essentially, and she was like, fuck this, I'm not going back to like that, like I'm the only person left. Do you think that has anything to do with the Marvel Cinematic Universe?
I don't know about you, Mizu, but I think so, considering they just settled the deal with Scarlett Johansson.
And she said she would be open to future work. And
she said she'd be open to future collaborations. I don't know if that was put in there like post wrap of the What If show. I mean, you could definitely do a rewrite. I don't know about the animation, but it seems particularly convenient that they would do that.
I mean, you would hype? I mean, I think so. Like, why say like, oh shit, like just like they did with Gamora, um, like, hey, listen, we're getting another one pulled from a universe because this is the universe where you don't exist. Do you think that kind of introduces us to a slippery slope in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, though?
On the story side, no, because you can essentially do whatever the hell you want. You
Of
can like
course.
you can make whatever character be a different person and be like, oh, this is just a different version where they look different. But in terms of the money side of actual how Disney operates, it could be a slippery slope because if you have contract disputes, you're beholden to that character. If you bring them back, like if you bring them back and Scarlett Johansson asks for more money, if she decides that she doesn't want to work there anymore after the first movie that she comes back into, you're essentially tied right on both ends of a string unless you kill her off, or him or her off in the next project. So I don't know, Mizu, what do you think?
Uh, Honestly, I really don't know. But yeah, I think I definitely agree with you, Jose. It is a weird slippery slope in terms of, yeah, definitely IP for especially what's going on right now in terms of all the lawsuits. So I don't know. I think it is weird, and I think it was just maybe for the sake of the plot. But I kind of don't. I kind of hope that it's not a very common thing that they do of taking a dead character and bringing on one from a
Yeah,
different universe to another where
that's
the
what I'm
one that was
talking about.
gone. So,
Yeah.
but right now they're only doing with Gamora and now Black Widow. So
And here my thing, the thing is though, it's like, okay, cool. Like Black Widow's death was huge, dude. Black Widow's death was absolutely huge. It was like, holy shit, like that was the one person who couldn't come back in Endgame, you know? It was like everybody else could come back because she was a sacrifice, you know, for the Soul Stone. She can't come back. And everyone was like theorizing, how are we gonna get her back? How are we gonna get back? And it was like, she's gone, dude. And they did a prequel movie and they're like, cool, she is gone. Wiped our hands clean of her, like, see you later. But like bringing back Gamora, bringing Black Widow, it just I feel like it's such a trope in comic books to be like, oh cool, like they're back to life. Like Superman, we talked about this. Like Superman's back to life, Batman's back to life after all these people died. The Flash is back to life. And then just like it feels like such a cop out to be like, we just got another one. We went Black Widow shopping, like
Mm-hmm.
fucking Rick and Morty. We just snagged another one from a different universe that was wiped clean and cool. Now Scar Joe's back, and I feel like it just cheapens every death. Now, like, is Shang-Chi's dad gonna come back from a different dimension? Like, what? Like, it leaves the door open for everybody. When I feel like sometimes the door just needs to be shut on characters. Like, don't cheapen their death. Don't death bait. That's kind of what you're doing. It's what One Piece does. It's what Naruto did with my guy. Like, it's like if you're talking about like this is the absolute death, eight gates. Like eight gates is the absolute death unless Naruto touches you softly on your chest, and then you're fine. Like so, it just feel like it cheapens deaths for me.
For sure, I agree with that.
All right. Well, to end the tangent, what pick did you have, good Sir Mizu?
so if Jose was talking about how intense, so both of y'all's episodes are pretty intense.
Yep.
But if we're gonna be honest, if we're gonna talk about what truly got people really watching, because the other episodes were good, but the one that really changed everything, the one that got asses in seats was
Yep.
the zombie episode. Because think about it,
Oh. Okay.
people have been talking about Marvel zombies since the comic book even came out. And
Yeah.
everybody kept pushing, oh, let's make a Marvel Zombies movie. Let's make a Marvel Zombies something. Everybody, I've been hearing it since I was a child about this Marvel Zombies thing
Yeah.
for so long. So the fact that they made a whole episode about it, and it was a good ass episode, we saw all our favorite heroes dead or
Yeah.
zombies. And we had to work with another cool thing, all the side characters, other characters that you wouldn't think twice about. Like, who would have thought that freaking Ant-Man's freaking crew member was going to end up being part of let's say, the humanity team?
Yeah.
And
The like Romanian dude. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
exactly. We got to think about it. And another cool thing is we got finally our first mention of Uncle Ben from Peter Parker. because beforehand, the only thing we got in
You're
terms
right.
the only thing we got in terms of like acknowledgement of Ben Parker was the briefcase in Spider-Man Far From Home, and it said his initials on it, and that was it. We never heard anything else about him or anything like that, and we finally got it with this episode. And again, seeing Iron Man, freaking Captain America, everybody and their mother turning to zombies, freaking Wanda being, you could say, almost a incredibly powerful zombie was amazing to see. And it definitely was one of the talked about episodes before, because beforehand everybody and their mother was like, oh, it's pretty good. They like some of the episodes. Doctor Strange was also pretty good, but when zombies came out, they're like, holy crap, it was everywhere. And then of course the cliffhanger with an undead Thanos with all Infinity Stones. What would an undead Thanos do with the Infinity Stones?
That's the thing. Like, also, like the fact, I feel like a lot of our storylines in What If got cleaned up by that last couple of episodes, right? And especially this one, where they essentially threw Wanda at Ultron, and they were like, haha, go deal with her. And he did pretty handedly. And then they dropped a bunch of zombies on him and everything, but we never got to see undead Thanos with the full Infinity Stones. So I was like, I guess who would be a bigger menace, Ultron with the Infinity Stones or undead Thanos with the Infinity Stones? But like, if we're wrapping storylines, that was one of the ones I wanted wrapped, because that was the only one. That was the first episode that left us on a cliffhanger. And I think it was that one, and then like Party Thor, which got cleaned up in the next couple of episodes. But that was really the only one that left us with a cliffhanger. Oh, and then the Loki episode where he takes over, right?
Yeah.
There was that one as well. But yeah, you are absolutely right. That was a fantastic episode. It was cool. It should have been a movie. I think it very easily could have been made into a movie. Like if you explored more the relations between, like Vision and Wanda. Also, can we talk about the fact that Vision just had a tough series? Vision had a real tough series. He was a bad guy through and through. What's with the Vision erasure here?
And the Iron Man, bro. Iron Man is an absolute point.
I say it's not as bad as Tony right now.
I guess. So it was like they killed off people, and they're like, listen, we don't want to make you we want to make you feel better about the fact that these two characters are dead. So they just made them complete assholes for What If?
Fair. I think that's a fair assessment. And like the fact that like not even the only episode where Tony Stark doesn't die, he's like brushed off to the side by the Watcher. No, you Stark. It's just icing on the cake.
Well, here's the thing. He went and he picked up Killmonger, who is arguably a worse person than Tony Stark. Like, why are you so pressed about getting Killmonger? Also, can we talk about the fact, and we touched on it like briefly, but why did Killmonger, why was he selected?
Because the Watcher knew what he was going to do or what he was about. Like, okay, I can't technically, because I believe that it is a weird gray area, but basically the Watcher knew that he was going to be, a scumbag. And
he knew he would be like, he'd want the stones so he could be a douche, so he'd be motivated to fight Ultron. Yeah. That's fair. I like that. I like that. That makes a lot of sense. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, you've heard it here first. I had episode A, Ultron v. the Universe. Jose had
episode 4.
Episode 4, which was one more time, Doctor Strange. And Mizu had the zombies episode. Guys, you can go ahead and vote on Jose's Instagram for who is our stack 'em up winner. And guys, I'm not going to say the show would be a lot more interesting if we were in a 3-way tie, but who doesn't love a neck and neck race, ladies and gentlemen? So that's my proposal to you. If you guys want these stack 'em ups to get a bit more interesting, because who wants to see me fall behind? I know I certainly don't. So Jose, you want to tell them where to find that Instagram one time?
Yes, sir. You can go to I'm Tropical Joe on your Instagram pages. I will put that poll up later tonight or whenever you're listening to this podcast or viewing it on our YouTube channel for the Weeb Weekly. You will be able to vote for that Stack 'em Up. And also, if you want to see the other Stack 'em Up, you're just going to have to go to our Patreon and check out the DC Fandom episode.
Do it. It's only $5 and you get 2 extra podcasts a month. You get a private Discord with us, the $10 and $15 a month threshold,
Yes, sir.
get early access to merch, private Discord calls with us, and a bunch of other awesome benefits, guys. If you want more weekly content, that is the #1 way to support us, guys. We're out here, we're trying. We are on episode 33, which is insane. We've been doing this for a hot minute. I can't believe it all started with a TikTok post and people adding my friends. So yes, I've been Nixie Comedy, NC Hammer 23 on YouTube and Twitch, explaining every Sharingan is going to hit 100,000 views one of these days. We're doing like 3,000 views a day. I'm going to be famous. I'm the next Swag Kage. It's awesome. YouTube is great. I love it. Find me at all those places, specifically the Twitch and the YouTube, please. And thank you. Jose, where do people find you?
You can find me again. I'm Tropical Joe on TikTok. I'm Tropical Joe on Instagram. I am posting YouTube videos every week. Yesterday, I went to bed really, really late, recording videos for this upcoming week. We have explanations and reviews in less than 10 minutes for all the biggest movies coming up very, very, very soon. I'll be launching my YouTube memberships very, very soon, so you can help your boy reach his dream of becoming a real boy and becoming a full-time content creator. That is on the Tropical.
You're a full-time content creator.
Nope, I am not a real boy.
A lot of fake boys out there.
Yes, I do be fake boy. So that is on Tropical Joe on YouTube. But again, if you want to have your say on who gets bragging rights in the Weeb Weekly, go to the Instagram band poll, vote, exercise your right to vote, and let us know who is the best. Exercise your right to vote, and let us know who is the best at picking shit in pop culture. And another thing, I'm gonna put out a question very, very soon on that Instagram, so you can let us know what would you like to give the winner of the Weeb Weekly Stack 'em Ups.
Because
once we get to 10, the counter resets. So the first season, you would say, of Stack 'em Up is halfway through. Our first season of Stack 'em Up is halfway through. So I'll put up a question so you can decide what the winner gets and what the loser will get. Go to I'm Tropical Joe on Instagram and vote. Mizu, where can they find you?
Do it.
You guys can find me on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. You also can find me on Reddit as well. I appreciate all of you guys who participated in my poll on who should I do the next rewrite for anime characters. Right now, I've just been doing Naruto. You guys voted for Choji, and Choji will be coming out tomorrow, and you can see what my version of Choji would be like. And if you want to go see the others, I already done Sakura, Ino, Shino, you name it, I already done them. So the next
There's a lot of
ones are going to
characters
be
that need rewriting in Naruto. That is for damn sure.
And the next ones are going to be between who's the 3 votes between Sai, Rock Lee, and Hinata.
Ooh,
Or still Kabuto too, as well.
Oh, God, I see. That's Kabuto's the one person in there I probably wouldn't rewrite. He's a compelling character.
I was thinking about that, but I'm not gonna lie. I don't like the fact that he's kind of a copycat of Orochimaru. So
yep, no, I'm right there with you. He literally just takes everything Orochimaru ever achieves and slaps it onto his body. All right, guys, this has been awesome. Thank you for hanging out with us this week. Once again, guys, go ahead and follow that Patreon. That is patreon.com/theweebweekly. Big emphasis on the. If you want 2 extra podcasts a month, 2-hour podcast on there about DC fandom, 3-hour podcasts on there about Star Wars Visions, us, other TikTok personalities, guys. It is fun over there. But until next week, guys, we're going to go ahead and kick it to the outro.